My quest is sacred.
Alright guys, welcome back to the most amazing gaming channel in the world. Today we're going to be going over the Season 4 tier build. I know a lot of people don't play him. I don't quite know why. I really don't. I still think he's really good. His healing every like fucking 300 every 5 seconds. That means if you just basically proxy wave, not proxy but freeze wave, and you just heal off it, in one min wave you can heal like 600 health. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, the first one that you're going to want to do is level up your 2. Your 2 is going to be the best thing just for the damage and then the healing and damage. Very helpful. Plus it's on a low cooldown, so definitely the first one you want to go into. After that, going into your 1, your 2, your 3, your ult. The reason why you go into your 3 is for the protections and the assault. I know some people will not level this up. They'll just level the 1, the 2, the 1, the ult, and then they'll just keep these up. But I think people heavily underestimate how leveling this once is very helpful as far as getting the protections. Again, I know some people will just level the 1 and the 2, but I like having that protection / power there. Then you do want to max the 2. And then at level 8, I will go on into my 1. Looking at like the ult, it does reduce the cooldown a little bit, and it does do a little bit more damage. But I'd much rather get these 2 online here. So I will go on into the 1, the 2, the 1, the 1, the 1. Come back and go into the ult twice, and then start leveling the 3. There we go. So that is why I like leveling this up. It's at 70 seconds, and it does actually scale pretty high there. Just kind of depends on how the game is going. If I'm using, so say if they have like, you know, Sasanu solo and like a Hunbot's jungle or something like that, and you're in solo, if you never really use your ult to initiate and get a kill or anything like that, and you're always using it as an escape, going on into the 3 will definitely be a better option for you, just to be able to get those protections. However, if you're not, and you're using this offensively, or maybe it's split down the middle, then I still would follow the same leveling tactic. But if you keep getting picked off or out of position, you keep having to ult to get away, then you don't really need the damage on it. I would just go in and get the extra protections, because the passive protections will be much better. Then for the build itself, you can see I do have Swift Wing and Wing Blade. The first one that I would honestly pick up would be Shell. This is going to be the first relic. I think this is incredibly strong. I did test this out as well. The shield does not stack. However, when you upgrade Shell, let's just buy that. Shell upgraded, the blocks of basic attacks do stack. So if you have 5 people cast this and you get hit by 10, so say they have a Soul and a Rama and it's late game and they're just like, they're each hitting someone like 4 times a second, if not more than that. Say it's 5 times per second, they'll end up 5 times every 2 seconds. There we go. They'll basically block 10 auto attacks if they attack the same person gets a 5-man Shell upgrade. Will never happen, but just wanted to throw that out there, let you guys know the shields do not stack, but blocking of the auto attacks do stack. So to start, you want to go into Bluestone Pendant, Chalice of Healing, and then depending on who the matchup is, I will go into the 2 multi-pots. Sometimes I do the 2 mana pots, but really just kind of depends on the how the game, or who you're going up against, and how well you can manage your mana. But at level 1, this is what I would go on into. And then when you back, usually I'll try and back around 800 gold and pick up Swift Wing. Swift Wing will allow you, to basically run all the way back in 15 seconds. So you can, from the moment you start backing to the time you get back in lane, is 20 seconds. Now, if you think that minions spawn every 30 seconds, you can literally back and come back by the time the minions meet again. Now, that you'd have to have incredibly good clear it offensively, and then immediately back. But you can do that. This basically eliminates the need for teleport on your half of the jungle. There's a reason why I think teleport is absolutely broken and not the good kind. You're looking at 200 seconds. You can still be interrupted by rooted. or by hard crowd control. And it's at 200 seconds. You can't even upgrade, you have to upgrade it to teleport towards. And that's on a 3.5 minute cooldown roughly. I don't think that teleport's a good item, hence why I picked up Swiftwing. Anyways, to finish off with the build, you want to go into Warrior's Tabi and Breastplate first. After that, it just really depends on who you're going up against. If you're going up against, you know, like a Witchblade, so if they have like a heavy attack, I mean, it sucks to say, build these 2 items and that's it. But you can see, I really like picking up Shogun's Kusari. I really like this as, just for the extra mana that you get is phenomenal. You also get the CC reduction on top of your passive, which isn't incredible for tier, but it still definitely does help. And then being able to buff your allies and get the magic protection as well is also a very, very good item. Especially for the cost effectiveness of only 2,200. Very, very good item here. I know Genji's Guard, some people really like this. I mean, that gives you 40 mana per 5. But when you take magical damage, your abilities on cooldowns are reduced by 3 seconds. I'd much rather go with Shoguns for basically, not the same thing, but, you know, for the same gold, I'd much rather prefer to see one of these come out than a Genji's. You can no longer build auras, such as Hawk Sovereignty and Heartward. I don't know. Hi-Res said in their hotfix that it was only available to be picked up by magical guardians and mages. Okay, well, don't ever pick that up. You know, possibly a bulwark may be helpful, but I don't really see it. You really do just kind of want to counter build at this point. If they have like healing, go on into like a Pestilence instead of Shogun's Kusari. I definitely think this should be one of your core items. Should be that. I picked Witchblade on here just because there's so much that would be super, super helpful. Relic Dagger could potentially be kind of nice, although I think it does need an extra stat. I'm not sure what it would be, but 10% cooldown, 250 health, and 10% movement speed isn't too great, but the fact that your relics can be reduced by 30 seconds is. So usually you'll want to go into like a Winged Blade, could be very, very helpful. A Witchblade if they have a lot of attack speed, a Midgardian, a Nemean, you know, like I said, a Pestilence if they have healing. You really just kind of have to counter build. So I do apologize for this not being a great, you know, exactly build this. But hopefully it does kind of explain why you'd want to do that. Also for your 2 relics, Shell or Blink. Both can be very, very, very helpful. Depends on who their mid laner is. If it's like a Scylla, I probably would go Shell. But if it's a Blink, I definitely like these 2 items with my solo, or with at least Tyr as my solo laner. So you can basically go... you little bitch. Now you don't have a ton of damage, but still. Oop. Yay, Bluestone Drop. Keep in mind you only have 2 items. Now this will give you 10% CDR. You don't want to overcap it. However, if they do have a squishy team, I can see you going on into Yotuns as well. Like I said, it really just, there's so much depends on the solo laner. I personally like to build mine super tanky, so I get in and disrupt and just rely on the raw damage right here. And he's going to do 240 twice, which means you're going to really hit for, let's say, about 470, and when you cleave them afterwards and it does another 200, you're looking like 600 damage just by doing that alone, which is crazy. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a little bit longer than normal, but I wanted to actually go in depth and explain why. So, anyways, guys, until the next time, have yourself a fucking amazing life.
Fare thee well.